Howdy, race fans. Welcome to my little show about motorsports I like to call In the Pits with me, StockCar Scott, here each Wednesday on YouTube during the racing season. You know, when I feel like it. I usually start shows with whatever happened in racing on last Friday. Well, last Friday was my 60th birthday, and not only was all on-track activity at Darlington canceled because of Hermione the hurricane, but the rest of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s racing season was also canceled. He's not even going to make Richmond try to make the chase. It seems his season is over before Richmond. Hopefully he will be back at Daytona next season. But who knows when the next crash will come, and it might be his last race. So don't get me wrong. I want to cheer for Junior for a long time to come. But I also need to start exploring my options. The day will come, like it or not, that I will have no choice but to pick a new driver. And you can bet that when that day comes, my choice will probably be a legacy like my first two favorite drivers. Oh, and he will also be a Chevrolet driver. Back to Friday, Hermione didn't wash out all racing. NBCSN had IndyCar practice as well as the Formula One practice from earlier in the day, and they showed that a couple of times. Also got to see the K&N Pro West race at Roseburg, Oregon from last week. And it was good to see Ryan Partridge win instead of one of those two Napa Toyotas that had been winning all the races. Saturday, after practices for Xfinity and Sprint Cup, the Xfinity cars lined up on owner points for a 200-mile race at the Lady in Black, the track too tough to tame, Darlington. It was a really good race at the old Speedway. Kyle Larson ran really well in his Marty Robbins throwback Camaro, leading a few laps in the yellow and fuchsia Chip Ganassi Chevrolet. Little Denny Hamlin was also there in the number 18 JGR Toyota, and ran well, as did other Gibbs cars. Hamlin also led some laps during the race and challenged for the win in the final laps, but it just seemed to be the day for Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s friend and driver, Elliott Sadler, in the Main One Financial number 1 Junior Motorsports Camaro, who led over half of the laps and held on to a slipping and sliding Chevy to win for his first time at the historic Southern Speedway. It was really great. It was lots of fun. Dale Jr. even called Sadler while he was in victory lane on TV. So it was lots of fun. Elliott Sadler maintains his lead in the driver points with the next Xfinity race this Friday evening at Richmond, Virginia, on my younger brother's birthday. So, happy birthday, Jamie. The night race at Richmond's, they're always really fun races to watch, so be sure to get home early Friday so you can watch it. Sunday was full of racing, starting early with the Formula One Grand Prix of Italy at historic Monza Raceway. I had missed qualifying on Saturday, so I was pleasantly surprised to see Lewis Hamilton on the front of the grid with his Mercedes teammate, what's his name, unfortunately alongside. The two Ferraris of Vettel and Raikkonen started on the next row for the home Grand Prix for the Scuderia of the Prancing Stallions. I got up early and watched the Grand Prix live, only to be disappointed at the very beginning of the race before the first turn of the 11-turn course, as Hamilton got a terrible launch and dropped back several spots into the pack as his fellow Mercedes driver vaulted to the lead to stay there most of the race, finishing 53 laps later on the top step of the podium. Hamilton was able to battle back to finish second, but is now only 2 points ahead in the standings. Sebastian Vettel occupied the third step of the podium that made the hometown crowd go crazy. The next Grand Prix is in a few weeks in Singapore under the lights there, but again in the early morning hours here on Sunday. Also on last Sunday there was an IndyCar race at Watkins Glen that I have yet to see because it was on opposite of the Camping World Truck race at Mosport, Canada. That was a fun one. I've read Scott Dixon won in the Chevrolet powered Delara chassis at Watkins Glen, while Simon Pagenaud still leads the IndyCar driver standings, also with a Chevy. The next IndyCar race is their finale on Sunday the 18th at Sonoma, California. But I didn't mind. I did not mind at all missing the Indy race, because the Camping World Truck race at Mosport, Canada turned out to be terrific. The race came down to the last restart and the last lap. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s truck driver Cole Custer led because John Hunter Nemechek spun his tires on that last restart, but was able to catch Custer for a last stand in the last corner, where Nemechek just used up Custer for the win, though neither truck was on the track as they went with the checkers waving over their heads and cloud of dust. It was crazy. The aggressive slam for the win not only knocked Cole Custer out of a victory, but also knocked the junior motorsports driver out of the new truck version of the chase. Custer was not happy and let John Hunter know it with a flying body slam takedown WWE move on the front stretch there just after the race ended. Unfortunately for Nemechek, the move will come back to haunt him in the chase, where just one bad race can lose you the whole championship. And I'm pretty sure Cole Custer will be more than happy to provide that one bad race. New phenom William Byron still leads the truck driver standings with the next race at Chicagoland the Friday after next. Whew. Let me wash the dust down a little bit, because then a little after the dust actually settled there in Mosport, the big throwback showcase at Darlington began. The general consensus was that the Tony Stewart Coca-Cola throwback to the early 1970s Bobby Allison number 12 Monte Carlo was the winner as far as paint schemes and crew uniforms. The Chevrolet was perfectly transformed into the red and gold old school version, and the pants worn by Smoke's crew only added to the ambiance in the garage at Darlington for a special weekend. Another favorite was the number 4 Busch Beer Chevrolet SS of Kevin Harvick that was stickered up to appear as the 1979 Oldsmobile Cale Yarborough made famous in the big fight in the backstretch during the first flag-to-flag telecast of the Daytona 500, those many years ago, which was just after I finished my service in the U.S. Army. The number 4 Busch Chevy led the field to the green flag as the lineup was set again on owner points. And Harvick went on to lead over 200 laps, 213, something like that, in what looked to be a shoe-in for Happy. But big problems on pit row meant Harvick had to battle back hard just to finish as the first loser after Martin Truex Jr. This was the new Toyota driver's second win of the season, and first for him at the track too tough to tame, the Lady in Black, in the Southern 500. Relatively speaking, Happy was second, or was the best, relatively speaking, there in second, you see. But it was very frustrating for my younger brother. While my oldest brother's favorite there was the highest finishing rookie in 10th, and the number 88 that's now driven by Jeff Gordon there was 14th. Unfortunately, my wife's Biffle did not have a good day, crashing out and finishing 36th. So she finished the evening watching the Downton Abbey Marathon on PBS. Happy Harvick still leads the driver points with Bad Brad and the Joker in second and third. The next race at Richmond on Saturday night is the last race before the chase, so things should be quite entertaining. While I watch the Darlington 500, a friend of mine on Facebook, mini stock driver Ken Legault, was nice enough to post a few videos from South Sound, seeing how his hands were not preoccupied this week with the steering wheel. So I was able to see a little racing, even though I passed on actually attending any racing this past weekend. After Ken's videos ended, and that's why I got my Ken Legault shirt on this week. But anyway, after his videos ended, I was left to kind of guess what happened in the 10th annual Dennis Smitham Memorial 100, but I read the next day on Facebook and in the race results there on the South Sound Speedway website that 6-time late model winner this season, Mike Carlson, well, he won the Dash for Cash, but did not finish the last 13 laps of the Dennis Smitham Memorial 100 to be able to keep his win streak alive. From the looks of the pictures on Facebook, lap 87 was not very, very pretty for the number 33 Lexar Home Chevy of Mike Carlson. The winner of the 10th annual Dennis Smitham Memorial 100 went on to be Arlen Long, who also set a fast time for the event on Saturday. The next racing scheduled for South Sound Speedway is this Saturday with a 100-lap super late model feature along with Super 4 late models, Bumblebees, and the Outlaw Compact Touring Series. And I hear that Josh has been working real hard on getting a big car count for that. Oh, let me give me a drink. Evergreen has drifting this coming weekend. After lots of figure 8 racing last weekend during the fair, along with what I really like, the Northwest Pro 4 trucks. Winner of the past set of passes there to the West Coast Late Model Finale, Cecil Howard started up front in his truck, but unfortunately had mechanical problems that turned the lead over to the ultimate winner of the Northwest Pro 4 truck 25 lap main, Doug Wilkinson, for yet another win this season. The Northwest Pro 4 trucks wind up their season on the 24th at championship night at Evergreen Speedway. And speaking of championship night, I still have 2 passes to give away to the Better All Auto Sales Twisted Tea West Coast Late Model Series 2nd Annual Greg Peterson Memorial 100 at Yakima Speedway on the 17th of this month. All you need to do to receive 2 free passes to the big race is private message me, StockCar Scott, on Facebook at G.Scott Sams, and leave me your best, easiest to get in touch with your phone number there. Then I'll private message back my phone number so you'll know who's calling, and call shortly after with a couple of questions about the show or something, just to let you know that you're awake. Rita Trujillo played last week, but had to disqualify herself as she will already be at the finale working. So send me your number and I'll call, and you will hopefully win 2 passes to see the point finale for my favorite local regional late model touring series, the West Coast Late Models. And instead of giving them away to you for my birthday, as I tried to last week, you will get them because it's almost my younger brother's birthday. Happy birthday again, Jamie! And of course, I'm doing this in conjunction with the wonderful folks who run the West Coast Late Model Series to show our appreciation to you race fans that show up to events and watch my little show about motorsports I like to call In the Pits with me, StockCar Scott, usually here on the YouTube on Wednesdays, when I feel like it. Thank you all for watching again. Watching In the Pits again this week, and join me next week, same Stock Car time, same Stock Car channel, as I talk to you about racing and try to talk you into going to see some racing. And remember, all races matter. So go see a race. Go on. Go!